There was a huge fight all across YouTube because people thought that he was going to take down the AVGN because he was copying the nerd's style. And I was one of the few skeptical people that said, no, that's not going to happen. Just like how store brand stuff doesn't outsell the national brands in the supermarket. Hey, what do you know? I was right.
I'm a simple man, don't wanna complicate ya. Complicate ya.
So, anyways, what got us here in the first place was a discussion about gaming and game streaming in general. The thing with Just Chatting is a way more flexible format, and it allows for the development of a persona without looking more generic. So, let's take again with the Korean streamers. Jinny, Yugi, Tiangi, Hachubi, and all these other folks, they can all do their own thing, and just because they're doing different things at different times, even though they're all IRL streaming, it's going to be different to where they don't get generic and start looking like each other. And that's the pitfall of game streaming. When you're the umpteenth person playing a first-person shooter with a little thing down in the corner like this, except it's not looking at nerd charts like what I like to do. When you're the umpteenth person playing a certain video game, not only is it a flooded category where people aren't going to be able to find you because you're buried way down the hierarchy, but people don't have a reason to even follow you in the first place because you're not anything all that special or exciting because you're looking just like everybody else. This is why, people that think there's a formula to being successful on here and they or any platform and they copy someone else, they often don't succeed to the extent that whoever they're copying succeeded, because they basically are like, they're saying to their audience, the most I have to offer is that I'm a crappy version of someone else that you already like and watch, so why should you watch me anyways? Now, one thing, and we don't need the statistics for this, but one thing that I very vividly remember from my early days on YouTube was the angry video game nerd Irate Gamer fiasco. And there were so many people doing so many angry video blogs about how Irate Gamer was going to ruin AVGN's fame. He was a total copycat, copying James's style. He's going to take down the AVGN. And I was one of the few people, despite having a video at the time get a moderate amount of views, but not very many, I was one of the few people that said, no, that's not going to happen. The Irate Gamer is going to turn into store brand AVGN. People are going to know that he's not the nerd, and they're going to know that he's just copying the nerd, and the numbers are never going to pan out for him like they did for James. And what do you know? Before Chris retired the character, he had 6-digit subs on YouTube versus James having 7-digit subs. And the views per video were substantially different as well. Even though there was a crowd of people that were bored with the AVGN and were liking the Irate Gamer better at the end of the whole Irate Gamer thing, or at least the last one that I know about. From last I heard, he retired the character, but I could always take a look. Why don't we just do that? We don't have the web browser on screen right now. Irate Gamer. Has Chris done anything with the character? Chris Neo, the Irate Gamer. Okay, so he is doing something once in a while. But he supposedly closed the story arc of all of this. Let's see. Chris Neo, blah, blah, blah.
Seamless transitions with...
Mute! That's right, folks. I don't run an ad blocker on YouTube. It's a way of respecting the platform and the creators that are on it. So even though this is a vast, secure browser, I have YouTube whitelisted. Let's go Chris Neo, the Irate Gamer. I want to go to the channel and not play... Oh, him in those glasses. I'm not going to show you any of his content because of the reputation that he developed in the late 2000s. It's been that long, but I'm not taking any out. I want this to be able to go over to YouTube later on, and I don't want content ID nonsense because of it. It looks like he's brought back the character. There's a huge Irate Gamer graphic on here now, and oh man, I thought this was all over. And he was just wearing goofy neon glasses from here on out. And he was doing Chris. Oh, okay. 2 days ago, Irate Gamer will return. Next episode announcement. But again, personas. Chris built up this character, and even if this is closer to a fictional character, but it's still kind of a persona, because he can get mad. And even if it is kind of fake looking compared to some of the other stuff, just the whole Irate Gamer thing, people know what it's about. People maybe they remember the controversies. Maybe they even argue that, oh, well, it was so long ago. You're a moron if you still care about that. Look, there were channels that were shut down due to DMCA stuff when all this was going on. This is one of the first big DMCA abuse situations that I ran into on YouTube. So yes, I am permanently skeptical of Chris's channel or anything he's involved with because of that stuff. It's part of, again, the whole thing with personas and what you're associated with. If you're associated with bad stuff, you have to work on cleaning that up. And you have to learn, you have to follow through on it as well. You can't just do an apology video and say, well, I'm going to do things differently. No, you actually have to follow through on that. But I might actually check out, I'm not signed in on here, so I'm not subbed to him. But I might actually check his channel out again. But let's go back all the way to some of the original Irate Gamer stuff that he was doing. And he occasionally cracked 6-digit views. He occasionally did that. So, but again, the numbers never panned out for him because, quite frankly, he was like store brand AVG. And oh, Kool-Aid Man, nearly 1 million views. Oh, was that just cringy? He loved using special effects and stuff like green screens and stuff too back in the day. But yeah, once upon a time, Irate Gamer was the video game reviewer that everybody loved to hate. So, but again, people thought he was going to take down the nerd. There was a huge fight all across YouTube because people thought that he was going to take down the AVGN because he was copying the nerd's style. And I was one of the few skeptical people that said, no, that's not going to happen. Just like how store brand stuff doesn't outsell the national brands in the supermarket. Hey, what do you know? I was right.